You've heard from the East and the West. You've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
All right, what's going on? Happy New Year's, 2022. Here we are. It's the first day of the year, and it is another great day over at the Great Race Place. We have a 10 race card today that features 4 stakes races as well too. These races will be going on with races 6 through 9 today. So it's going to be a really fun day over at the Great Race Place, and I am excited about it because we have ourselves a really, really good card. Yesterday's card was very formful in a sense because we had a lot of smaller fields, so you didn't get the same, pop that you like. But the day finished well, though. You got an $18 winner at the end of the day, but hey, it is what it is. And I was able to get you guys a $15 winner yesterday in race 2 with Fowler Blue. But it's all about today, right? So let's go ahead and talk about race 1. It's a maiden special weight, and we're going to go with the horse right now that's going to be the big favorite here. It's going to be a horse by the name of Liberty Forever. Liberty Forever is a very, very good horse. Ran the fastest time in this group at Santa Anita. Now, it is a maiden special weight, but the last time the horse was here, the horse did wind up finishing 3rd. So I see that, and I know that's why the horse is getting a lot of love here. But at the end of the day, you got the best jockey riding on this horse. This is a horse. This is a race between a lot of horses that are kind of green still as well too. So I think that you just have to go ahead and just bite the bullet a little bit and take this horse, Liberty Forever. Now, Ruben Alvarado, as I told you guys yesterday, that is Peter Miller's assistant trainer. Peter Miller is taking some time off right now, so the horse is under his care. So it's pretty much a Peter Miller horse. So it's not like you're looking at a brand new trainer here or anything like that. So this is a combination that's been real good with the horse as of late. So we'll see how it goes, see how it shakes out, but we'll see if Liberty Forever will get its maiden broken today to start off. And last time out, the horse did finish 2nd in the maiden special weight and does have the class here as well too, running in the Golden State Juvenile. But the horse did finish 9th that day, but it did run huge over here at Santa Anita, finishing 3rd that day, only losing by a length and 3/4. So we should be good here, and let's see how it goes. And the horse is one of the only horses here with turf experience as well, too, other than Orth, who actually scratched out. So that horse probably is on the bigger and better things for tomorrow, it looks like. So we have that there, Liberty Forever. And then we'll also have Who's Candy. Who's Candy is probably the classiest horse in the race, and came out looking very good over at Delmar. The horse did run a 5 furlong. This is a Brian Cornier trainee, and it's going to be ridden by Edwin Maldonado. So you know exactly what they're going to go towards for this race. You know that he wants Edwin to just hit the front and not look back. But I don't know if I don't know if this type of race and type of field speaks to that type of plan. You know what I mean? I think that more as you just need to stay with the group and try to explode on the stretch, if anything. And I don't think Who's Candy wants to do that. I think Who's Candy wants to just take the front, not look back. But if the horse does do that, then it's probably going to be a wrap, to be honest with you. We have Street Humor, another horse that's seen as one of the better horses in this race. Now, the horse did kind of regress just a little bit over at Los Alamitos, but that's fine because the horse is built for turf. So it was on the dirt, 5.5 furlongs. It was a good race for the horse, but the horse stayed 3rd the whole time. So there's not much you can say about the horse. But with the last time out, though, over at Delmar, on debut, the horse was 1st the whole way until the final stretch and lost that race by 3/4 of a length. So, Street Humor does come in here with probably the best looking race, when it comes down to where you finished at and how you finished. But I think that street humor is going to be, it still probably needs just one more race before they actually get their photo taken. But I know that they should be in the money today. And that's why I like the horse being in the spot with this as well, too. And then we have Worse Reed Sanchez. He's another horse that only ran once, but this was back over on November 21st. Doug O'Neill is the trainer for this horse, and Mario Gutierrez is going to be riding, and it's a red and racing. So, this combination is always producing winners, so you have to throw them on the ticket as well, too. And this horse is switching from dirt to turf as well, too. You always like that look as well, too. So I think Worse Reed Sanchez is very formidable with this group, and especially the way that horses have been transitioning so well from the dirt to the turf. From Del Mar to Santa Anita. So I like what I see here, and I know exactly what the trainer's doing here. So that's why the horse is going into this group, because you can't overlook Worse Reed Sanchez, who is an 8-1 morning line as well, too. So you're getting value in that spot as well. So we move forward. Let's go ahead and talk about race 2. Race 2 is another maiden special weight, but this is a different type of maiden special weight. This is more as about the babies. And these horses like brand new on the block and everything like that. You have pretty much one horse that has history that has ran before, and that's Manorelli. And Manorelli is going to be ridden by Edwin Maldonado. Luis Mendez is the trainer for this horse as well, too. But there's something about Snark that's just jumped out to me. Eric Krujak is the trainer. You got John Velasquez, new kid on the block for, the West Coast and everything like that. We know about him on the East Coast. But John's taking on this mount with Eric Krujak that always has some really sharp horses. He might not be one of the more popular jockeys trainers over at Santa Anita because he doesn't have a big barn. But thing is, though, he has a barn full of really sharp horses. So you always have to take him very seriously in these spots. And I love Snark here. I think Snark is looking good, and I see exactly how they're setting this horse up in the morning. So I do think that we're in a very good spot when it comes down to Snark. But Manorelli is a really good horse. It's going to be tough to beat Manorelli today, but I think that Snark has what it takes to beat this horse. Now, Peter Urton has Queen of Thorns. This horse is going to be actually going to be the big favorite when we get to the window and everything like that. The pedigree is there for this horse. This is a horse that's out of a violence and was bred over at Pollock Farms and everything like that. So this should be a good spot for Queen of Thorns to start their race career. But I just think that Snark's just going to be a little bit better than this horse when it all comes down to it in the end. So there it is. And let's have ourselves a great race today over in race 2. I like it. All right, we move on. Let's go ahead and talk about race 3. A Smuggler's Run, who is a horse that is a first-timer as well, too. But Smuggler's Run has been lights out in the morning, and everything is the way this race is setting up. It's another maiden special weight, but a lot of these horses are they just really haven't done well in their prior races. And Smuggler's Run is coming fresh off of Bullets on December 18th and the 11th as well, too. So I like the way that they dial back the horse just a little bit on the last training session on the 26th. So that goes to tell me that the horse is sharp and ready to roll. So that's why I like Smuggler's Run in this spot. Then we have Heaven's Music, who has performed probably the best, even though the horse finished 5th over at Santa Anita on the 11th of October. Still, the horse is looking Del Mar. So the horse is coming in here, finished 2nd, only losing by a length last time out at the same condition. So this horse will probably will be the second best horse in the group today. So we'll see how it goes, see how it checks out with that situation. And then we also have Bill Buckner, Red Sox fame. Bill Buckner is going to be a Spicer colt out of a Heat Seeker mare. Phil D'Amato is a trainer, and Ricky Gonzalez is going to be riding the horse. This horse is looking pretty good in the morning as well, too. It's a first-timer as well, but I think that Bill Buckner should be in the mix and should be in the money as well. He has all the right combinations and everything moving forward to have a good day today. And then we have Erebus, who's going to be a horse that's going to be pretty good. Erebus is going to be trained by Walter Solis and ridden by the Bug Boy Diego Herrera, who is really good. So pretty much this is a Stay Thirsty gelding out of a Bring the Heat mare. This horse has the experience. So that's something that you can't discount. So that's why we have to throw this horse in there. And the horse does present value for us as well, too. We move forward to race 4, and this is a claiming race, $40,000 purse. This is 6 furlongs on the turf. We're going to go with the horse by the name of Swirling. Swirling is going to be the elder horse in this group as well, too. An 8-year-old mare. This horse is going to be ridden by Edwin Maldonado and trained by Librado Baraccio. And I think that the Twirling Candy mare out of a Forest Wildcat mare is going to be very good today. When I look at the form, this horse really does have all the class in the group. Has ran the fastest time in the group, but I know the horse is old. And I know that's what a lot of people are looking at, is that the horse is kind of old. But last time the horse was at Santa Anita, the horse was on their way to victory. But once they got down to the stretch, they kind of gassed out, wound up finishing 5th. Now, at that time, the horse was trained by Antonio Gonzalez, and the horse was kind of out of form because it was running a lot over at Los Alamitos. But this horse is very good over at Santa Anita. Last time the horse did win here, though, was on February 9th of 2020, winning by a neck on 5.5 furlongs on the turf. Now, the horse comes back around, and they're giving the horse more of a furlong. And I just think that Swirling, with the experience that this horse has, that's exactly what this horse is going to do. They're going to wind up having themselves a pretty good day today. And Edwin and Baraccio are 2 out of 3. Even though they haven't won yet together, that's still 60% right there on the money. So I like what I see there. So that's why I'm taking Swirling here. Then we throw in Invincibella, who's coming fresh off the claim with Peter Miller over at Del Mar. The horse did finish 6th last time out with Umberto Rispoli riding on 5 furlongs on the turf. But the horse did do well prior to that over at Del Mar, winning on August 15th of last year and wound up doing pretty good in a 5 furlong. So this horse fits this condition perfectly and is one of the faster horses in the group. And as you can see, this horse is actually kind of stepping down just a little bit in class for this one. And so the horse just matches up very well with this. Doug O'Neill, Flavian Pratt. You really can't overlook that. So I like where this one's setting up at. This horse can be really good as well too today. And we also have a very the horse that will probably be seen as the best in the group, and that's going to be Trickle In. Trickle In is going to be trained by Dan Blacker and ridden by JJ Hernandez. Last time out, the horse finished 5th over at Del Mar, but the last Santa Anita appearance on October 24th of 2021, the horse could have finished 1st, wound up being 1st pretty much the whole race, but was in a duel, wound up finishing 2nd, losing by 1.25 lengths. So that is, and this is the same exact condition, same exact everything. So pretty much this horse is classy enough and has been in this condition before to actually go ahead and win. And this horse did win twice, 2 out of 3 times at Santa Anita back on 2020. No, the horse has never won at Santa Anita. I'm sorry. The horse is placed at Santa Anita in the 4 tries over at Santa Anita. So the horse has a 25% rate when it comes to being in the money over at Santa Anita. But, Trickle In should have a fun day today. So we'll see how it goes. And that's what we're going to do here is throw in Trickle In. Now, we did have Henny's Crazy Train here, but Henny's Crazy Train has scratched. So I'll just leave it at that. So we move forward, and let's go ahead and jump into race 5. Race 5 is a very tricky race. This is another claiming race, $32,000, 7 furlongs as well too. I like the horse here, Fort Bridger. Fort Bridger is a first timer as well, looking good in the morning. So I think that this is a maiden claim as well too. I'm very sorry about that. This is a maiden claiming race. So that's why I'm going Fort Bridger, because it's their first time out, first time on the track. I think this horse should run big today. It's a Gio Ponte gelding out of a Harlan's Holiday mare. So you got the Bug Boy riding, you got Ryan Hansen training. This is one of these surprise situations that I see coming. even though Mad Steven will probably be at 1-5, 1-9 once we get to the gate because he's owned by Gary Barber. It's out of a Giants Causeway mare, and Boisterous is the that is. So pretty much Steve Maietti, Flavian Pratt. Flavian Pratt really doesn't ride in lower races like this, maiden claimers and things like that. But him and Steve Maietti go way back from when Flavian first started in the Southern California colony. So he's going to go ahead and look out for his guy. And when Flavian rides on a horse like this means that this horse should be an absolute stud, absolute winner for today. So that's why we're putting Mad Steven in here. And then we have King Rob as well. King Rob is probably the second best horse in the group. And pretty much King Rob is a Boydemeister gelding out of a Tappet mare. So the pedigree, lineage, all that good stuff is there. So you have to look out for this horse. And then you got Juan Espinosa riding this horse as well, too. This is a George Papadramo trainee. So it should be good. We'll see how it goes. King Rob in the 5 spot. And then we have Artab Keen. That horse is going to be trained by Dave Hoffmans and ridden by Kyle Frey. Keen Ice gelding out of a Tappet mare. So this horse should be right there in the group and can loom the danger as well too. So I couldn't leave that horse out either. So I like the way that this is setting up right now. Race 5 might be one of our better races of the day. So there it is. There it is. Race 5, and that will be our the first half for us today as well too. So give me one moment and let's go ahead and jump into the early pick 5 real quick, and then we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. So in the early pick 5, I have it set up for $144 today for you bettors. Yeah, it's 50 cents, but we're kind of stretching this thing out a little bit. We got 2, 5, 7, 11 in leg 1. We got 1, 2, 3 in leg 2. We got 2, 4 in leg 3. Then we got in leg 4, 2, 4, 9. And then in leg 5, we got 1, 6, 8. This is going to be a $144 investment. So with that, I'll be back with races 6 through 10, the $2 pick 6, and the late pick 4. So you guys stay tuned. This is Horsin' Around, presented by Stable Duel, and I'm your host, Pop DiBiase, the primetime capper.
Now you and your friends can compete in the sport of kings and win big with Stable Duel. Get the app, pick your horses, and get in on the thrill of horse racing with daily games competing against other players. Bring home the glory and the cash and move up the annual leaderboard while you leave your competition in the dust. Get in the game with Stable Duel. Play, race, win.
All right, so we are back, and let's go ahead and jump into race 6. And in race 6, we have ourselves the Joe Hernandez Stakes. And Joe Hernandez, the great announcer at Santa Anita back in the 60s and 70s. So pretty much he's a legendary. He has a plaque there as well, too. So this is a downhill turf race, which is a grade 2. And it's going to be the biggest purse of the day at $250,000. Now, where I'm going with this one today is I'm taking a horse by the name of Bran. Bran looks really good. This horse ran mostly in Ireland for its career, and now this horse is coming into America to look to get a big win. Now, the horse was previously trained by Delcher Sanchez, and this horse has ran at this condition several times as well, too. 6 furlongs, 7 furlongs, a mile, all turf races as well. This horse has done very well overseas. Out of 13 starts, this horse has actually been in the money 8 times with 4 winners. And as of 2021, the horse was 6 out of 9. So this is sharp. And come on, you got John Sadler training the horse as well too. Aronis Races owns the horse, and then he has a good savvy vet in Jersey Joe Bravo riding the horse today. What happens here is that they're going to fall in love with whomever they're going to make the favorite, which will be our beer can man, and we're going to wind up getting ourselves a nice price on Brand, who's already a 6-1 morning line. So I like what I see here. And I like the way that this is setting up. And you just have to look at things in the right way. Now, we don't have a lot of history on this horse, but this horse wins. That's the thing that gets you excited about this. And I know that the horse didn't win last time out on October 21st over at St. Cloud, but had won 2 in a row prior to that. So the horse was heating up, and they're moving the horse around a little bit. They're kind of moving him around a lot. So at this point, the horse has gotten themselves a nice break since that October 21st race. They're going to be fresh coming into the race today. It's a new, and I know that they're going to love the way that this turf is going to respond today as well, too, with the way that the rain hit and it drained out and, didn't get too messed up yesterday because they didn't have any turf racing. So I do like what I do. I do like what I see here. So let's see how it goes. Let's see how it shakes out. It should be a good race for us today as well too. We have ourselves Chewing Gum as well too. Chewing Gum is a good veteran, in my opinion. I think Chewing Gum really exudes what it is to be a horse that can come in here and just really, shake up some things a little bit. You know what I mean? So I like where they're going with this one. With Chewing Gum, I like the spot. I think it's a great spot for this horse. And Chewing Gum at 5-1, we'll take it all day. And Beer Can Man, I know Beer Can Man is going to get a lot of the love because Beer Can Man is a big favorite. Also, you have Flavian Pratt riding the horse as well too. You always have that you always have that in your fold as well. That you got the top jockey riding this horse, but you got Mark Glatt training. He's not one of the top trainers there, but he always has some pretty good horses. So, he's looking to get himself a nice win. The horse is 5-2, so we'll see how it goes. And then we have Delaware. Delaware is going to be ridden by Money Mike Smith, and you can't ever overlook what Money Mike Smith might be jumping on. And this is a Patty Gallagher trained horse coming out of the Chad Brown barn. So most likely this horse is just is almost like being borrowed right now. The ownership group has put the horse in the hands of Patty Gallagher, because just simply because Chad Brown, they just don't have it up under Chad, but they still do have the same owners though. That's the whole thing. And this horse is a Frankel as well too. So 6 years old, everything kind of makes sense today with this horse to be in this group. And you know what? You can't ever overlook horses with a state name as well either. I remember one year I saw a horse by the name of Ohio go off at 22-1. I liked the horse a lot, and then I still didn't bet it, and then the horse winds up winning. And it even had Gary Stevens riding, but at that point in time, Gary Stevens was kind of going through a phase where he wasn't riding that well, but that day he was riding well. So it happens, man. It is what it is. But there it is. Those are our 4 horses for that race, right, for the Joe Hernandez. This should be another really good race. It was tough to pick. You want to pick everybody, but you just can't. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm going here. I'm taking Brand as our key horse here. I think that we can get ourselves a nice price to start off the stakes group for today. Now we move forward to the Sham, and everybody knows the Sham. The Sham is the first race of the year that gets you some Derby points over at Santa Anita. So pretty much you have McKinnon, who's been a turf monster. This is a Doug O'Neill trainee as well too. This horse is coming in here very good. This horse is actually pretty much won every single time out, except for the last time out when the horse was actually in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf and wound up finishing 3rd that day, but had just came off of winning 3 races in a row, including 2 stakes, one being the Del Mar Juvenile Turf and the other being the Zuma Beach. So that's class right there. So pretty much this horse McKinnon's coming in here trying to go ahead and look a little bit better on the dirt. The first time out, the horse ran at 4.5 furlongs last May, and the horse wound up finishing 4th that day. But that was the horse's first race. Street Art is a pretty good horse. Phineas is a pretty good horse as well too. So that he went against a very good group. So today should be different. This is an American Pharaoh colt out of a Scat Daddy mare. So you love the pedigree on this horse. Ran a bullet on the 12th of December. And then you know what? The horse it didn't do too bad in the last two works before coming into this race on the 19th and the 26th. So I like McKinnon in here. I think that the horse just loves to win, and the horse has never lost at Santa Anita either. Has ran there once and wound up winning. So it is what it is at the end of the day, man, when it comes down to it. But you just like this spot. I just know. I just do. It is what it is, man. So 4 out of 6 times in the money, we'll take that all day, right? Then you have Bob Baffert. Bob Baffert coming in with Rockefeller. And, when he names these horses certain names like Rockefeller or Justifieds or American Pharaohs, they're going to be something that's going to kind of be a big deal. Now, this horse did win the Nashua over at Belmont on the 7th of November. Luis Saez was riding that day, though. Now, the horse did break the maiden over at Del Mar with Abel Cedillo ride. But when the horse did ride over at Santa Anita on the 21st of October, the horse wound up finishing 4th that day in the American Pharaoh with Flavian Pratt riding. So that was a classy group. And Oviette Class actually bested Rockefeller that day. But Papa Cap is a horse that is going to be big in as a 3-year-old this year. Corniche is probably Baffert's big horse as is, so pretty much we're going to see how this goes. It's a good group that owns the horse, but it's not one of Bob's more richer owners. You know what I mean? There's more like buddies, friends, you know what I mean? So pretty much I like Rockefeller here, but I think Rockefeller can be beat. Now, I think his eyes are really set on New Grange. New Grange is a horse that broke the maiden immediately, ran a big number over at Del Mar on 6 furlongs as well, too. So the horse is pretty much ready for the condition today, and it broke its maiden and won by a length and a half. So John Velasquez was riding that day. He's riding today. So the horse going into December wasn't training the same way it was in November, but that's okay because that's what Baffert's doing. He's just making sure that the horse gets comfortable on the track over at Santa Anita because the horses never ran there, only ran at Del Mar. So New Grange does loom the danger, but I just think that this is a lot to ask of a horse for their second race. But Bob Baffert, these horses are always ready when he puts them in a race like this. So we'll see how it goes. But those are my 3 for the sham grade 3, $100,000 3-year-old. So we move on. Let's go ahead and talk about the Robert J. Frankel Stakes. The Robert J. Frankel Stakes is one of the greatest trainers of all time. And this is named after him. He passed away almost 20 years ago. So this is very big for everybody. It's going to be an emotional race because every time they talk about Frankel, people kind of get into their feelings a little bit because he was a very special person to a lot over at Santa Anita and in the racing world. So this is going to be a pretty interesting race. And so, they'll highlight the winner a little bit more here as well, too. I love Moraz here. Michael McCarthy is like on fire when it comes to turf horses and having turf horses at a price. Now, he might not have a monster barn, big barn, but he has, once again, very sharp horses. And that's something that you get that I can sign all the way up for it. And the horse is coming off of a monster work on the 27th. So hopefully that won't interfere with what the horse has going on today. But I think this is going to absolutely be something tremendous for this horse moving forward. Now, the horse has actually finished in the money 7 out of 8 times, 2 times a winner, and did win last time out. Open claimers at 80,000. So that was literally almost that's right before we get to a lower stakes race. So the horse ran magnificent that day, hit the front, didn't look back. Nobody could catch him that day. So catch her, I mean, that day. So it is what it is. And the last time at Santa Anita, the horse got beat by Bye Bye Bertie, but was a big favorite that day as well, too. But Bye Bye Bertie was just too good that day. Wound up winning the race by 5.5 lengths. So it is what it is. You can actually draw a line through that. But all in all, the horse has good pedigree here over at Santa Anita. The horse has actually won over at Santa Anita in a very convincing fashion back on January 8th of last year. And so pretty much it's the season for this horse to step it up big, because usually horses run really well at certain times of the year. And when I see a horse win that race at 11 links and it's January 8th and today's January 1st, I think the weather calls for that horse to actually go ahead and have a monster day today. And that's why I'm putting this horse on top as our key horse. Now, our next horse in the top horses is Mutual Unusual, who has some of the best figures in the group and actually wound up finishing first last time out over at Santa Anita. And that was this horse's last race on the 30th of October. Flavian Pratt was the rider that day, and the horse won by a nose. Now, Tim Yakteen is the trainer, and the last few times this horse has been a monster favorite as well, too, including in the Santa Ana, where the horse did wind up finishing second. And also, the horse was a big favorite last year in the it was a big favorite in the Buena Vista and wound up finishing second that day, and was in the megahertz, wound up finishing first with Joel Rosario riding. And this is the defending champion of the Frankel Stakes as well, too. And, you know, the horse has a lot of class. This is the classiest horse in the group, has pretty much the most experience against big-time horses. The horses ran at Santa Anita 12 times, 6 winners, 3 places, 3 shows, so 9 out of 12 times, 75% in the money at Santa Anita. So there's nothing that says to you that, hey, you know, this horse won't finish in the money. This horse definitely will, and Mutual Unusual will probably be the bottom out favorite by the time we get to the post as well, too. Once people start looking at the form and start making it make sense, this horse is the horse. Now, we have Luck. Luck is a good horse. Kitten's Joy mare, and is out of a Carlinian mare. So this horse did finish second last time at the red carpet and finished second over at the Rodeo Drive. 2 very tough stakes races. Both times were considerably low prices. And the horse is coming from, racing overseas in France. So the horse is still kind of getting acclimated to America. Ran twice overseas, and then came over here and ran 3 times. They've given the horse about a month off. They've given the horse a month off, and so that's good as well, too. So Luck comes in here very sharp and looking pretty good on the morning as well, too. So we like Luck here. We'll see how it goes and see how it shakes out, but it should be a pretty good race. And then we have Global Brand. Global Brand is going to be another Michael McCarthy trainee, and this horse is going to be ridden by the Turf Master, Umberto Rispoli. The horse did finish second last time out, with Rispoli riding over at Del Mar. And the last time over at Santa Anita, the horse was in the swing time, which was a mile on the turf, and the horse wound up finishing 5th that day. And England's Rose, who's in this race as well, too, was the winner that day. So the horse ran a good number that day, but it wasn't good enough to beat a very keen England's Rose, but that was a wide open stakes as well, too. But this horse, majority of their work came in Tampa over the last few years. So this horse is kind of an outsider looking in, but the horse has been at Santa Anita before. It could take to the track. You got a different jockey today. Last time out, it was Drayton Van Dyke. So this will be different. You got Umberto Rispoli, Turf Master. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. And this horse did run very well at the condition last time out as well, too. So there it is. And we move forward to race 9. And race 9 is going to be our final stakes race of the day, which is going to be the La Cañada Stakes. And just for everybody who's kind of country or ignorant, it's La Cañada, like not La Canada, La Cañada, okay? And I know this because this is the next city over from Pasadena. Actually, it's literally right behind the Rose Bowl. So the La Cañada Flint Ridge, they have a lot of really good football and basketball teams. They also have St. Francis High School over there that produced some NFL guys as well, too. So, they got some things going on over there. But I just want to give you guys a brief history about La Cañada. Not La Canada, La Cañada, okay? All right, so we're gonna go with the horse by the name of Moonlight Dioro. Moonlight Dioro should be another really good horse today, and Moonlight Dioro has a lot of good experience here, and I like what this horse is how it's going in the morning. So I think this can translate to a big day today, and you can never overlook the combination of the old man himself, the pop, Mr. Richard Mandela, and Money Mike Smith. These guys have been, working this thing out for a long time. And when they got a horse on New Year's Day or something of that nature, it kind of gets you excited a little bit to where, hey, this might be something pretty big for us today. So I like Moonlight Dioro a lot in this spot. Moonlight Dioro presents a very intriguing situation. Even though I know Flavian Pratt rode this horse to the 2 wins that it had, breaking its maiden and in the Las Virginas, but the horse, since that time back in February, the horse has finished second and third. But this horse literally is running like maybe every 60 to 90 days at that. And this horse has always been a favorite at each one of these races. And out of the 6 lifetime starts of the horse has been in the money every single time. So there's really like no way to overlook this horse. We have to put this horse in on top as our key horse today. Then we have As Time Goes By. As Time Goes By has probably ran the most race and is probably the classiest horse in the field. Now, this is kind of a trade in a sense. Money Mike Smith rode this horse in about 5 consecutive stakes races until they handed over the reins to John Velasquez in the Zenyatta. Then Luis Saez rode the horse in the distaff. And then you had Flavian ride the horse for the win over at Los Alamitos in the Baicoa. So Flavian returns to riding this horse today, but you can't ever take anything over at Los Alamitos that seriously, especially with the way that there was only 6 horses in that field. So literally that was like a race that you knew that this horse was going to win. Midnight Dioro was in that group as well too, winding up finishing third in that group, but they made As Time Goes By work very hard that day. Now, this horse in 12 lifetime starts, the horse has been in the money 9 out of 12 times. That's all good and well. I think that this is going to be such an overbet. That's why I didn't put this horse on top. Then Park Avenue, John Sadler trainee, JJ Hernandez is riding this horse, another Aronis Racing property. And this horse looked very sharp last time over at Los Alamitos, winning by 5 lengths. And the horse has been ridden by Flavian Pratt pretty much every single time except for the last time out and today. Now, the first 5 races for this horse, the horse was in the money, but was in the money 4 out of 5 of those times, but it wasn't the winner. So pretty much it took a little bit for this horse to break the maiden. This is going to be the horse's 3rd time over at Santa Anita, and this horse is 50% on the win column at Santa Anita. So it's looking to get another win over at the Great Race Place. So we have Park Avenue here in that spot. Then we have Velvet Slippers, a horse that I'm familiar with. I won some money off of Velvet Slippers. When the horse did break their maiden over at Del Mar, I was all over that horse that day. They had a good day that day and actually beat Park Avenue that day too. So Velvet Slippers is a really good horse. John Velasquez is riding the horse for the first time. The horse is coming off of a win last time out over at Del Mar, winning by a neck. So the horse has been good over at Del Mar. Horses never ran at Santa Anita. So that's something that you put into fruition and say to yourself, Velvet Slippers should be right there in the group today. But I think that the 3 horses that I put on top are going to be really good today because they really can take to this track, and you just don't know what Velvet Slippers is going to be today. So there it is. That's going to be race 9 for us today over at the Great Race Place. The Locking Out of Stakes, always a great race. Now we have ourselves the finale, the nightcap, which is going to be a allowance optional claimer, 6 furlongs on the turf. And I'm going to go with the horse by the name of Rifey. Rifey is looking really good coming into this race today. And Rifey has everything that gets you excited about horses, especially at the end of the day. They've won their last 2 in a row, one at Del Mar, one at Los Alamitos. So the horse is looking for the trifecta of winning over at Santa Anita. But you have to understand that the horse is getting faster and faster as we go. Now, the horse last time at Santa Anita on the 22nd of October of last year, the horse wound up finishing third, losing by 2 lengths. Last 2 times out, the horse won at Del Mar by a head and then won by half a length over at Los Alamitos. All I can say is that I feel like the horse is just getting better and better. Now, the horse has ran 4 times and has been in the money 3 times and has won twice. So the horse is going to be very confident coming into this race. And then you have the old veteran Tyler Bays riding this horse. And then you got the old veteran in the trainer as well, too, Gary Studi, who always will surprise you with some horses. You're going to think that Gary Studi might not have the horse to keep up with the group, but the way that they're entering this horse and that Tyler Bays has ridden the horse the last 3 times as well too, you can see the comfortability here. I got to take Rifey today because Rifey's going to be a nice price too at the end of the day. So Rifey will be our key horse in this spot. And then we move over and we have ourselves Bricks. Bricks is going to be another really good horse that's actually going to be trained by Richie Baltus and ridden by Umberto Rispoli. So when you look at the combination there, you got the Turf Master and you got Richie Baltus, who always has sharp turf horses as well too. And so when I look at this one, the horse has 17 lifetime races. The horse has been in the money 10 times. And in 2021, the horse did struggle just a little bit. The horse only ran twice and wound up finishing third in those races. But the horse does have good history over at Santa Anita. The horse has ran 11 times here, probably the most out the group. And this horse has wound up being in the money 8 out of those 11 times as well too. So this is a horse that will be in the mix of things. You don't know if the horse might win, but the horse will be in the mix of things for sure. And when the horse did win, it was on 5.5 furlongs on the turf when it broke its maiden when Flavian Pratt was riding the horse that day. So there it is. And let's see how it goes. Let's see how it shakes out. And the horse did come off of a back-to-back wins at that time as well, too. But the horse was coming out of a different barn at that moment as well, too. So there it is with Bricks. And we move forward and we have ourselves our next horse up, which is going to be Riding with Dino. Riding with Dino is going to be the Flavian Pratt choice for the final race of the day. Robert Hess is the trainer for this horse. And you know why Flavian's riding this? Because when Flavian first started out, Rob Hess was one of the trainers that we used to always have Flavian on top of his horses. So, he just is, keeping it real and, not getting too much of an ego on people that believed in him in the beginning. So, Riding with Dino has all the figures to keep up with this group and best this group as well, too. The horse hasn't won since last November. The horse hasn't won since 2019 back at Del Mar, and that was 6 furlongs on the dirt. Now, the horse on the turf, the horse has been good, but the horse has been in the money as well, too. Last 4 races have been on the turf, but the horse has been 2/3 and 2 seconds. So, in 9 lifetime starts, the horse has been in the money 8 out of those 9 times. So that's something that you look at as well, too. You got to throw this horse in the group. And come on, man. Martin Pedroza broke this horse's maiden like second time out. So, this horse might have something to it. So you got to go ahead and throw this horse in the group. So there it is. We move forward and we have ourselves our next horse up, who's seen as the morning line favorite, but I don't know why they're putting so much on this horse. But I do understand when I do see the figures that the horse won at 6.5 furlongs on the turf, and it was at Santa Anita. Now, the other 2 races the horse had were over at Del Mar, and the horse wound up finishing third. So, once again, it's a horse that you ran at Santa Anita once, you won once. So, that's where you're going to get a lot of people throwing their money at this horse, but this is a wide open race. I don't know if Alligato is going to be good enough to beat this group today. Okay, the group that he beat last time was a little salty, and he was a monster favorite in that spot as well too. So that's something that you have to put into play. So there it goes, Alligato, and then we finish up with Preaching Trainer. Preaching Trainer has one of the more overlooked trainers. I think she's really, really good. Carla Gaines. She has Drayton Van Dyke riding the horse. This is a Harris Farms breed and owned by Harris Farms. And the horse is out of a Lucky Pulpit out of a City Dancer mare. So last time out, the horse did finish sixth. That was open claimers. The horses had some tough outs the last few races and everything like that. But they're still believing in this horse. They're still running this horse at the allowance optional level. So that tells you something. And Drayden rode on this horse several times before, and the best finish he had was the horse losing by a nose, but the horse was in first place before, and this was 5.5 furlongs on the turf. So it kind of makes sense that you have it set up like this. The horse did win at 5 furlongs over at Delmar as well too, but Rispoli was riding that day. So preaching trainer, I think, can be good. And they haven't been working together as much this year, Carla and Drayden. But this is only what the fourth race day of the year. So I think that they can go ahead and find themselves in the mix of things, and they can go ahead and help us make a nice super high five here at the end of the day as well too. So that's going to be our horses there for race 10, the allowance optional claimer, $69,000 purse, 6 furlongs on the turf, and we're going to go with Rifey as our key horse. All right, so we go to our $2 pick six, and today races 5 through 10. We're going to go leg 1 through 7. We're going to go leg 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And in leg 3, we're going to go ahead and single the 1. In leg 4, we're going to go 2, 4, 6, 7. Leg 5, we're going to go 1, 6. And then we're going to go ahead and single out our horse. We're going to single out our 5 horse here late, Rifey, to go ahead and get us a nice win, because I have Rifey here as a single, because I feel like Rifey is going to be a good price. So if we do hit it, it will be something nice and not something chalky like the rest of the track. Like the rest of the track one cast the ticket to. You gotta be a little deceptive here sometimes. And I know you kind of risking things, but if it hits, it's going to hit nice. You know what I mean? So it is what it is at the end of the day. But we do have the pick 6 races 5 through 10, and there it is. All right, and then we wrap it up with the late pick 4 today, which is going to be a $36 investment. And in the late pick 4, races 7 through 10, we got 1, 3, 4 in leg 1. Then we have 2, 4, 6, 7 in leg 2. Then we're going 1, 5, 6 in leg 3. And I really do like these horses a lot. I feel like we're going to get the downright ice cold exacted with these horses as well too. The 2, 5 here in the final leg, and that's going to be a $36 investment. So there it is. Once again, this is the New Year's Day card for Santa Anita. I want to thank you guys very much for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow for the Sunday card as well too. So you guys make sure to tune in for that. And this is Horsin' Around, presented by Stable Duel, and I bid a duel. And you guys have a beautiful day. And once again, Happy New Year's to you.